Okay, here's CoinScope right here, Atleta token, and says it's launching on October 1st, 2024. Okay, so there's your launch date on it.
We don't see the slides moving.
We don't see the date.
Oh, okay. Do you see anything on the screen?
Well, yeah, we see where it says Coin Market Cap list, and then Coinscape also features.
Oh, I see. Okay, let me drag this over. Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Coinscape. It's kind of probably hard to see, but you might be able to pick up what is Atleta. And they've got the launch date of October 1st, 2024.
Yep.
Okay, so there's information about it out there. Here's coin market cap. This is the biggest information. This coin market cap is a directory that was bought up by Binance. And so when they got it, they had a lot of money poured into this. So it's probably the #1 directory. And so it talks about the Atleta network. So that gives you an idea of what those things are. And then Gitbook is another one. This has a ton of information on. This shows all about staking, the governance, grant projects. So anyway, so that's what the directories are, and they're going to go all out and try to get this information out there, which in theory will make the price go up because of awareness of what the project is. Okay, now this is where we can, this is, in my opinion, the best place to get the token before it launches. So a launch pad, basically what that is, it's a platform that helps new blockchains or cryptocurrency projects raise money and launch their tokens by offering an early access to the token to investors or people, you know, who aren't accredited investors. This is a chance to get the coin at the best price. Now, we're going to take a look at what the price is now, supposedly on the test net. That doesn't reflect what's going to show up on the launch pad. So, but the initial coin offerings, it's like an initial stock offering. There's certain people that get access to it before it actually launches. So it's basically it's a way before it hits the major exchanges, and we'll talk about the difference between exchanges. There's 2 of them. And here's a video where I hope you can hear this, and we'll try it.
So Andre, remember last time, I think we had a call, or maybe we spoke even privately, we spoke about Uplift, right? So because many people in our community, they're excited about Uplift, and we kind of like promised that we will be launching on Uplift, but then after going back and forth internally, right? So we had a couple of conversations, so we decided.
Okay, so what he's talking about is that on the 7th, they were talking about launching the token on a launch pad that was actually started by the people in Limitless, the ones who did Daisy. So Uplift was the project before Daisy came along. So they have their own launch pad. And a launch pad is where they have the technology. So somebody comes to them with an idea for the crypto space, and they don't know anything about technology. They think they got a great idea. They can approach a launch pad, And the Launchpad has the technology and the marketing expertise to make these projects, make the projects a reality. And what they do is they issue their own tokens. So we'll take a look at Uplift because I want you to see what it's about and how to get in on Uplift and be prepared, because that's where they're going to launch this thing. We want to get in on the first launch pad, but I'll let you listen to the video, and they're going to do more than one. So let's listen to see what their plans are.
Decided to push this towards the end of the NFT sales, which will be September 22nd for certain reasons, right? First of all, we have only node specs, right? So then basically community will be in a conflict, right? So promoting this on two platforms. This is first, and second, to be honest, on the technical side, since we haven't launched anything on Uplift for quite some time, right? So it takes a few working days, and our team is completely like overloaded now, so they couldn't make it now. But we still plan to launch it later on, so we'll make an announcement about Uplift. I just wanted to touch on this since we kind of like promised last time, and people asked this question. But at the meantime, I have a question. We have a question to you. So the other launch pads, right? So I know you have few launch pads on your list. So what are the timelines for those launch pads, like in your head? Maybe it's not final official yet. And the second question, of course, this is what everybody's asking about the listing, right? So when potentially we could expect listing again? Maybe we cannot give exact date yet. I know if you could, it would have been already on media, right, on Telegram, etc. But just can you give on those two things approximate timelines?
Sure. So first one is about the launch pads. We're right now planning to start them approximately September 17th, because we're going to be in Singapore. And in Singapore for token 2049, we want to have some kind of a place to drive any of the interested parties we meet there, so that they can actually go get some Atla on the open market. So we're going to be, those events are September 18th and 19th. So we're probably going to be opening the launch pads on the 17th. There's a total of up to, not including Uplift, 7 other platforms. Each platform is going to run 24 to 48 hours with about 12-hour breaks in between each one. So it all depends on how quickly they're able to fulfill their obligations or the terms that we have agreed upon, and then we move over one to the other. Ideally, these should be closed by, again, most like hyper optimistic by maybe like the 26th, 27th, but by the 30th, they're all closed and done, just simply because we're going to be having to actually release the mainnet.
Okay, so I don't know if you were able to hear, but there's going to be 7 of them, not including Uplift. And they're going to launch them one after the other within a 24 to 48 hour period consecutively. And they all have to be done before by the 30th, because they're going to launch the blockchain on October 1st.
So Andrei, remember last time, I think we had a call.
So here's Uplift right here. So it's at https uplift.io. So just uplift.io, and it will take you to the Launchpad. This was the one started by Limitless. And so you have to submit KYC. So that would be one thing to do now before they actually post the coin on here. Another thing to do is get a MetaMask wallet, because TronLink is not going to work. And then I'll show you when we look at the actual Atleta test site, what's available as far as tokens you can buy and sell with. There's nothing available yet, aside from what they give you in the test net. So in here, Uplift can launch the app, and you'll see in here KYC. Now these are the projects that are on here, and these are still available. And and I don't know if this is going to be the case or not. That's why it's important to prepare now. that when you participate in these projects, you have to have the token called the lift token. That's the one that you trade for whatever's on here. But I don't know how they're going to set it up. Now, I've been in communication with support, and getting information out of them is extremely difficult.
Don't come in here.
So here's KYC. Here's what they need. You need your email, verification document, a selfie. Verification document is likely a passport or driver's license. You write down your address where you live, and you write down the wallet address that you're going to use on Uplift. And then you press registration. So there's your instructions. And the wallet that you will use is a MetaMask wallet. And I'll show you that in a bit. So again, this is uplift.io. This is where you want to go and get registered. Okay, now this is the event that they're in Singapore, where they're gonna, between the 18th and the 19th, there's gonna start talking about these launch pads. And Uplift, I'm assuming, is going to be #1, and hopefully that'll be up and running before they start talking about this and doing those other 7 at this event. So I'll show you what this looks like. It's huge, a huge event. It's the world's largest crypto event. And so this is where Blockchain Sports is going to make their announcements of how you can get these tokens prior to them being on the exchanges. Okay, next slide. Okay, now he's going to talk about this event for a minute. I'll play the video next, but he's using the term token, TGE. TGE is token generation event. It's a process which the blockchain project creates and distributes its native currency or token, typically when launching its mainnet. So here's the thing that's confusing in it, and they haven't clarified this. Because in order to use these things, to be able to get the tokens, to have them minted and available, the mainnet has to be operational. So when they talk about the mainnet coming online in October, then that's might be some misinformation, because in order to do the TGE, the mainnet has to be in operation. So I checked on that, and that's the information I got. So we want to be on the lookout, and I'll show you why when we get in and take a look at the Atleta blockchain, that what we're looking for ahead of time. And when it switches on, we want to move quickly to be able to get the tokens. And then I'll show you when you're on it, how do you tell the difference between the mainnet and the testnet? It has to do with the web address.
So the second question is about when is Atla going to be listed on exchange? The TGE takes place simultaneously with the release of mainnet, because the coin is part of the logic in the network itself. So it should be a matter of, honestly, days. I don't want to be wrong, but should be like with 24, 48 hours after mainnet launches, just so all the exchanges can actually make their announcements, prepare their communities that, okay, guys, we integrated a new chain, new coins coming, because it's not just adding, like whenever you go to Binance and somebody launches a new coin on Solana or another network, you just add the coin. They have to, each exchange has to integrate our network as well.
Okay, so what he's basically saying that in order for the TGE to take place, the mainnet has to be live. And so anyway, that's something to consider when trying to acquire these coins.
Professor Dalton, can you play that back?
So pardon me?
Could you play that back? Because it sounded like he was saying simultaneously. I want to make sure I'm hearing right.
Okay, sure, no problem. You got it. See if I can put it back.
So the second question is about when is Atla going to be listed on exchange? The TGE takes place simultaneously with the release of mainnet because the coin is part of the logic in the network itself. So it should be a matter of, honestly, days. I don't want to be wrong, but should be in like with 24, 48 hours after mainnet launches, just for so all the exchanges can actually make their announcements, prepare their communities that, okay, guys, we integrated a new chain, new coins coming, because it's not just adding, like whenever you go to Binance and somebody launches a new coin on Solana or another network, they just add the coin. They have to, each exchange has to integrate our network as well.
So if I'm understanding right, it is simultaneously, but they're going to give a day or two for the rest of the network to catch up?
Well, they've got to integrate, and they do it through a thing called a bridge.
Right.
And we'll take a look at that. And I tried to get some tokens over to the testnet to make purchases of the Atla coin, and it couldn't be done. But that's necessary to have a bridge, because what a bridge is, and we'll cover that in a second, it just allows different networks to talk to each other. So he mentioned Solana, for example. In order for a Solana to be able to work with the Atleta token, you have to have a bridge. There's another way to do it, but we don't need to go into that. It's called a wrap token, but that's a different animal. But they're mainly, you're bridging the networks together in order to make these purchases. Okay, so there's a test net and there's a main net. The purpose of the test net is the testing environment. And this is where they can experiment, try to break things, make sure things are working before they go live. It's basically a clone of the main net. And so they want everything to be going smooth on the test net before they launch the main net. And test net tokens, according to the information, are worthless. So you may be able to get, you will be able to get 25 of the Atleta tokens on the test net, but they're coming in what's called a faucet. And a faucet drips tokens, so they give you 25 a day. Now those tokens on other networks have been real. So when I check into it, I'm getting two different answers. So if nothing else, if they do turn out to be worthless, it gives you some experience on how to be able to purchase them and use them. And you can transfer them between wallets. Now I can see that when I take and make a transaction, that there is an indication that it's in operation over the main net. But so it's very confusing as to whether or not these 25 a day. And by the way, when you sign up, rather than push 25, there's a place in there where you can put your email address and get 250 of them. So I think it's worse, since they're free, to collect these things and just see what happens. If nothing else, like I said, you get some experience in using the blockchain. Okay, so, and then they've got partnerships and stuff, and then their partners are able to develop new things and test them on the test net. So, and then the main net, of course, is a fully live functioning blockchain where real transactions occur. So the tokens have real monetary value. So once it's fully tested on the test net, they migrate it over and launch it on the main net. So that's the difference between the test net and the mainnet. And we'll take a look at them. Okay, now they've got the Atleta network. That is, when you click on it, will take you to the other one, the test net. So let's go. If I hit this, this is the test net. Atleta Olympia is the test net, and Atleta is the main net. So that's the difference. And we'll take a look at the addresses. So we go to Atleta. This is Atleta.network. And so you saw that one screen pop up, and then it jumps over to this one and it says Explore Olympia. So this button right here takes you to the testnet. And the address here is app-olympia.atleta.network. So one of the first things you see here is a faucet. Now this works differently on a phone than it does on a computer. So when I access this on a phone, there was 4 things you had to do before you got access. And one of those things was fulfilled, because in this thing right here called a leaderboard, this is where you can join the leaderboard and be able to play around with certain things. And it looks like here on this leaderboard, they want you to do this verification. When you bring this on a phone, this verification pops up immediately. So this is the first thing that pops up. And so once you verify all this information, you get to go in and play with this thing. So, and the way to do this is to connect the wallet. Well, I've got the MetaMask, and so I can get into all these things. And then the faucet is where you get the free tokens. So if I pop over there, I can see the faucet. I click on there and I can receive these every 24 hours. And you can barely see where it says input your address. Well, that's your wallet address. And when you do your MetaMask, sometimes it connects automatically and sometimes it doesn't. And so I've got a screenshot coming up where you can get the information and put this stuff in manually if it doesn't work automatically. But I've helped several people with this, and it works and it doesn't. It seems a little glitchy, but there's ways around it. So I'm connected here, and if I launch my MetaMask right here, it will connect. I have to take and put in my password. Oh, come on. Try again. Until you got to put your password in, or it has trouble connecting. See, glitchiness. I had to go in and select. Here's at the top, your drop down, you select a network that you want to use. And I put Atleta Olympia in here. Like I said, sometimes it's automatic, sometimes it isn't. So you have to go in and I've got a screenshot of what you need to put in. And you'll find some, when I log in here, some dots, and you click on those and you go to settings, and you'll be able to put the information in. Okay. So there I've got 574 tokens. Now the reason it's less than divisible by 25 as I've been playing between sending them between wallets. And it takes about one Atleta token to make transactions. And right now that's like next to nothing because of it's not expensive right now. But I don't know how they're going to operate in the future. I know that they probably likely want to keep the cost way down for transactions, but we'll find out. So I've got 574 here. I've got a wallet on my phone that I've set up so I can send stuff back and forth. And you do a send and receive, for those of us who played around with TronLink and Token Pocket and stuff, this should be intuitive. And there is a swap feature on here. But you notice the swap, because I'm on the Atleta, the swap and the bridge, they're unavailable. You can't buy, sell. I can only send them back and forth. That's all I can do.
What is the address to put this Atleta in here? What is the address?
What was your question?
What is the address to put in the MetaMask to get the Atleta coin? There is like a search bar. It has to put those here. What is that address?
You connect it. See this little globe here? You connect networks together. And so the address is what comes up when you create like an account. It'll just give you an address. It's automatic per account. So if I wanted to open up
my question is, I have a MetaMask. How I can put the Atleta coin here? Because when we put it,
well,
they want some type of the address and stuff.
You have to first be on the Atleta network. You have to add it in. So when you connect your wallet, you're going to have an account reserved for Atleta. So you don't want to put it on an account that you have established that is not connected to Atleta because it won't work. It has to be the Atleta blockchain. So I'll show you when you log in here, one of the things it wants you to do. So if I go to the leaderboard here, this one's operational. So without the connection, you're going to see where to connect your wallet. It's going to say connect wallet. That's the first thing that you do when you get on there. And so once you connect your wallet, then that Atleta most of the time will connect to an account that you have set up on your MetaMask. Once that's established, because when you set up the account, you're also telling it, and it automatically does it. If it doesn't, and I'll show you that in a bit, you put in the coin, and so it will set it up once it automatically takes the information once you connect to the Atleta, or if you manually put it in. You can do it both ways. Give me 1 sec, please. Sorry. Okay. So it was shred day where I live. There's a credit union that was shredding stuff. And so that was my boss. She heard on a scanner there was a public nuisance, and I had to assure her it wasn't me. So anyway, back to business. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. So we were looking at the network. Okay, things about the network. So let's look at the DEX. Now, this is going to be available, just like you can get tokens from the Launchpad. You're going to be able to get them here through their DEX. And this is where you swap. But this is where I have an idea. But you see where my MetaMask is connected. My MetaMask says I've got 574 Atleta tokens. Well, that's reflected in the DEX. And so we'll go over the difference between a centralized exchange like Binance and Coinbase and stuff and a DEX. So, so right here, and this gives an indication of what coins are going to be available on the Atleta blockchain. And I do not see Tron, and I don't see USDT Tron. I see Tether, the Ethereum-based USDT. So if I do the drop down here, so I want to swap, here's your coins that are available right here. There's the list. You've got this wrapped Atleta. That's what I was referring to earlier about getting across the bridge. So this one disguises itself as a token, but it could be from another blockchain. And what you'll see, you may see this listed on other blockchains. That allows you to buy those and actually take them over here. USDC, and then DAI, or however you pronounce it. USDT, this is the Tether one. This is not the Tron one. And then you have Atleta. So let's say I want to take, and they've got these listed here. So I'm assuming that those are the main ones that they're going to be working with, just an assumption. So if I want, and if I were able to bring $100 or 100 USDT over, and I want to buy the Atleta token, it will populate and show me how many I can get for $100. You can see the price right now is 0.000061. And that's over 9 million coins. I would love to do this, but this doesn't guarantee what the price is going to be on the Launchpad, because Launchpads set their own prices. I'm hoping it's going to be cheap like this, and that we all have an amazing opportunity to make a lot of money, to do a lot of good. But this is it right here. This is where I got my information. This is the test net, which should represent what will go on with the main net. But I don't know. And this price fluctuates. I've seen it as high as 4 zeros and a 9. I've seen it as low as 4 zeros, 4 7. So I don't know what's causing the fluctuation. I don't know, but I'm hoping that this is an indication of things to come. So when I contacted support and I said, how do I get some USDT over to the testnet? They said, well, you really can't bring real USDT. I know, I tried before they even told me that. That they said, we can set you up with some USDT, test USDT. So if you want to play around with this some more and do actual swaps, you can contact support, and they're right down here in the corner. Bring them up right here. You just type, a message to them, and they will get back to you. Sometimes it takes a while. And so the last time they were looking at support was on here is 2 hours ago. So anyway, and sometimes I'll put the question in and then come back the next day and the answer will be there. So that's the DEX. You can do staking. Now this is the Blockchain Explorer. Now this is right now, it goes 2 places because they're running simultaneous explorers. They're running one on Polkadot. So sometimes I'll get Polkadot and sometimes I'll get this one, the Atleta network. So if it changes on you, it's because they're doing simultaneous explorers. Okay, so we'll get out of here. All right, so, and then I showed you the addresses so you know if it's live. If you click the Atleta, so atleta.network, and it stays that way, means that you're live. And so when I go to the testnet, one of the things that was confusing, You see down in, it's hard to see probably, but you'll see some green in the lower left-hand corner. It switched from testnet to live. So that's confusing because I was thinking, oh, it's live because it says it's live. No, it's a live testnet. So I had to get clarification on that. Okay, but this gives you a chance to play around with it. And we'll go to the next slide. Okay, bridges. Oh, I wanted to show you the bridge. I'm gonna go back there. So a bridge is, it allows blockchains to go across different networks that would otherwise would not work, because Ethereum doesn't work with Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't work with Ethereum unless you use a bridge. Now MetaMask has a bridge in it, but I couldn't get it to work either because the Atleta is apparently not set up for a bridge. So if I go back and we take a look at that, I can show you what it says when you bring up the bridge. So an indicator would be, see if it goes live, and even on the test net, see if the bridge is operational. I keep getting this, technical issues. I've never had it show anything but this. We apologize. They got it shut off, in my opinion, because they don't want you dragging tokens over here. Because you're just going to lose your money because this is a test net. But once it goes live, that bridge is going to be the thing to be able to get the tokens over to the DEX, and you'll be able to buy right here on the DEX the tokens. So the first thing my plan is, and I would suggest maybe this as a technique or strategy, is check this every day. See that when you go to, and I would go to the live one because it's just going to divert over. So rather than go to this one that's on the screen right now, just go to Atleta.network and see if it's live or not. And the way I would check it is go to the bridge, because without the bridge active, you can't do anything with the DEX. So that would be something to check on a daily basis, is to see when that goes live, because it's going to be any time. You know, and it has to be live in order for those launch pads to function. And certainly exchanges cannot function unless it goes live. So even though they say October 1st, I think it's going to switch on before that. Okay. So we know about bridges. Okay, here's MetaMask. This is what you want to do. And so you can see the bridge right there. It says unavailable on this network. There is an actual bridge to bridge tokens over on MetaMask. I would suggest using the one on the Atleta blockchain instead. Okay.
I'm sorry, I maybe you didn't understand my question. I already went through the testnet and connect my MetaMask over there. But when I'm over there, I cannot see the Atleta coin. Even they change the network or anything, Olympia, but I cannot see like what you're showing right now. Atleta, I cannot show that.
Well, are you sure that you connected to the Atleta network?
This is what I went step by step connected, and then the Olympia they're showing. But when we want to go add in the token, Atleta or anything, they're asking some web address or token address and stuff. I don't have those.
Okay, well, I'll show you that. Let me see if I can find that slide. Jump over to that right here. Okay, so this is, you have to select the network within your MetaMask. And so you'll see an option, which if you look over here on the left, you select a network. Okay, mine's already in there, but see where it says at the bottom, add a network? You have to add the Atleta. And then once you look at, sometimes it's automatic. When you go in to try to connect to the test net, it says connect wallet. you have to have an account reserved for that. You can't add it to an existing account. So you can create another account in MetaMask, and then you go and connect it to the network. So you do it through Add Network. And then if it doesn't work automatically, you just go in and you put this information. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, if you put this information like I have here, it will allow you to have the Atleta Olympia network on there. But as you can see, it's the test network. So I'm assuming
Yeah,
that
this is what
go,
I need. Thank you.
yeah, okay, good. All right, glad I could help. Did you get a screenshot?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. Let's go back here. Okay, so now there's CEXs and DEXs. We just saw a DEX. It's just where you can swap tokens. That you don't have to open up an account. You just swap it. You can go from wallet to wallet. So the CEXs are centralized exchanges, and you have to set up an account. You have to deposit your tokens, you know, that kind of stuff. And so that's the difference. Binance and Coinbase are an example of a CEX. A DEX would be like Pancake, Swap, and there's some out there that you can use, but they're not going to have Atleta tokens until that is set up, and it takes a minute to do that. And that's one of the things I think that was being referred to when Andre was talking on the video.
And Professor Dalton, that was also one of the things that why they extended it, because they had to add more people to this area from a partnership standpoint to expand the network.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so we already talked earlier today about the Drift project. And so one of the things that will bring value, and the reason I bring this up, if you get it at a low price, it takes a lot of the risk out of it. I can't imagine that going in and getting the best price by getting in first, that the price is going to go down. We got all this amazing real world stuff going on, which will drive the price up. And then this confirms it. When a cryptocurrency like Atleta is tied to tangible projects, it creates a use case for the token, which demands with it will drive demand, which will, you know, essentially bring more users, which it just brings, it affects the coin's value in a positive way. So. And then I put it in here. This is a response that I got from support today. I said, besides Uplift.io, what are the names of the 7 launch pads that will offer Atleta tokens? We apologize for the long wait. It took them quite a while to get back to me. And he said, we currently do not have precise information on your request. If you have information about this activity from our partners, it is best to contact their support to get the most up-to-date information. So support happens to be done by Zendesk. It says that when you click the support chat box in the bottom right-hand corner. It's powered by Zendesk. Well, what I like about them is that they'll admit if they don't know something, and then they'll go and they'll ask somebody and then get back to you. And so that's, I've asked questions about when is the uplift going to be available and those kinds of things. And they said, just just keep a lookout for information. They don't really have a lot right now. And that, to me, is disappointing, because us being part of the community, we should be prepared, because maybe we miss Lyft.io. Maybe the DEX isn't working. So what's our options? One of those 7. Well, I don't know if those 7s are even available in the United States. Some launch pads are, some aren't. And I have no idea which ones they are right now. So what is this thing? I don't know why I put this in here. What is this? Oh, this MetaMask. You can get MetaMask at metamask.io, or you can get it as an app on your iPhone or your Android. But that's just the link. So metamask.io. Okay, that's the slide we looked at earlier. If you can't connect your MetaMask automatically just by Connect Wallet on the testnet, then you put it in manually.
Professor, it won't matter if something's not available in the United States if we're using our VPNs though, right? So really, we
No, the
should be able to
VPN.
figure out where.
Yeah.
Will it matter?
So VPNs, now I was told, and this has not been verified, but I was told both ways that the first exchange is going to be the OZX. And so I went to it and it says not available in the US, and we'll see a screenshot of that. So I thought, okay, no problem, I'll use a VPN. And when I went to use the VPN, it wanted KYC from the country that I claimed I was coming in from. So you can't, if they're going to use that as their first exchange, which support told me that that's the exchange that's going to go first, we won't be able to get in, which is another reason to try to get these tokens early.
I would leave that open end, Professor Dalton, and because again, we have an exclusive relationship and some information, you know, let's just be transparent here, is that they may not know who you are. They know you're part of the community, but certain questions that you're asking may not want to be released yet. You know, from an executive, from an hear me out, from an executive decision until it's released, until it's time to be released. I'm not talking about the technical side. I'm talking about being a business person to protect what they got, bringing it to market. So if they leak it out some kind of way and they don't want it to be leaked out just yet, and we got to look at it from that perspective as well. So and to answer Tiffany's question, this is me. I believe we'll have all the information we'll need because we are a part of the Limitless community.
Yeah, of course. I just don't like waiting in the last minute and find out I got to do KYC, or the place I'm trying to get it from is not available in the US, even with the VPN. So, but it is, and this is why I'm doing this, so we can be best prepared for when that time comes. So if we got our wallet set up and we know how to use the DEX and that kind of stuff, that improves our chances of snagging this coin while the price is low. Okay. So yeah,
I appreciate what you're doing, because I feel like you're doing the inside track beyond what we're doing from the community standpoint already. So I do appreciate what you're doing. But yeah, to piggyback on what Dr. Perry was saying, I'm sure as far as the Limitless community, we'll probably have a totally different process of how to access what we need to access, because there are so many people in the United States who are participating. So they wouldn't leave us out of it. And but what you're doing is almost like a backdoor situation to be able to access even more of what we already know is going to be amazing with the coin.
Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so anyway, this is another one of those. The slide must have been mixed up a little bit. This should have came earlier. This is one of the directories that's showing Atleta. So the word's getting out on the directories. It has Twitter, Discord, and Telegram connections for Atleta right here on this. Okay, so here's another project that they got going on that we might want to explore for information. This is one of the projects that was funded with the grant program. It's called Atleta Tap. It's a mini Telegram. So this might help us avoid some of the hackers that are coming in and pretending to be some of us. So. And they're doing a test on there. I think they got token rewards too if you go on there. And I'll see what I can find out how to access it. And if I find it, I'll put it in Telegram. Okay, so I think that's it. That's the end.
Well, let's give up some hearts for Professor Dalton for taking the time to break this down for us and to get a better understanding in this space. And if you don't have a better understanding, keep studying, keep studying, keep studying. All I do know is if you can, we can stop that real quick so we can see everybody real quick. There we go. If we can just get your practice in. Testnet and mainnet are two different entities, and the only way I can kind of give clarity is when you are on this side of the water and you're playing around maybe with a brokerage account and you get a chance to practice and you purchase the fake coins or the fake stocks rather and things of that nature, and they give you time to play around with before you go live with it. That was the best analogy that I could compare to for the thought process of what we're doing here. One of the other main things that you want to always look at too is that as they are adding, keep in touch with what's going on, because we do have a whole nother project, but as they're adding on with all these projects, nobody's going to be able to invest billions of dollars for something they don't see any value in. That's just where I'm at. So it's going to be able to add value from our end inside, because when Professor Dalton is about catching it from the outside, these coins have already been minted. You're going to have an opportunity to or playing around with it, however. But from the inside, as we're looking, it's going to bring value to our coin to go up, 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 and up. And it's obvious if it's not written in plain sight to you, but it should be obvious that there's value just in one of the income streams when they're dealing with the XR, the VR, one of those multi-billion-dollar categories that are there. And we have to be able to stay on there. Nothing wrong with knowing the ins and outs. I don't know about you. I'm a kind of a tinkering mechanic, but when I got major things, I'm going to go to the real mechanic. I maybe know how to change my oil. I may know how to fix a flat, or even maybe put in an air compressor. But no, I'm going to make sure that I get what I need to from it. So a guy like Professor Dalton, a guy like Greg and Don, those engineer type of people are needed on our team, so that we have the ability to gather some type of understanding, even though we don't understand it. Some of us just want to know, hit the button and go, and that's perfectly fine. But we are in a project that is going to be life changing. And I want you to put this in perspective. This is truly seed, time, and harvest. This thing is going to grow. We're talking about gathering a few coins in the beginning just so that we can get a quick ROI on our money. But the reality of it is, let's just hypothetically, for educational purposes, it comes out at $100 a coin, or $100 worth of value per coin. And that's just when it starts out. And they're adding these components. They have to reevaluate and reassess the value of the company. We're already at 5 billion on paper. What do you think now? That was a few months ago. What do you think is going to be valued now that we've added the drifting and the other stuff in this space that wasn't there before when they got the 5 million? It wasn't there when they evaluated it, the intellectual property. Now, what do you think is going to be worth, and how they're going to assess this and continue to grow? So this is a very long-term, change your address. In some cases, change your country. You might want to decide to go live somewhere else in the world. Peace. It's just got to be able to continue to grow. So I wanted to be kind of give some clarity. And this is a little bit different than when we did the financial piece. This is sports. And again, we have other variables that they have not talked about when they went to Paris. You know, they gave us insight when they went to Paris, and that they were there with the major players like Binance and the rest of these other guys trying to figure out how to bring this together. But who has the coin, or who has the proprietary information with this project of converting sports from the physical world to a digital world? Blockchain sports has, as let's call it, the category king in this space. So I hope this helps out. Any other questions? I just wanted to kind of give the vision a little bit more, and hopefully it's fine-tuned where we're going with this thing to make it a better place. Anybody else? I know Andre had asked me to kind of take over before, because he's in a bad spot. Any other questions, comments, or considerations?
I had one more that I was going to put in the slide and just realized based on one of your comments I had forgotten. They're going to have a lending facility. That means when you have your tokens, you don't have to sell them. You can lend them out and earn more tokens that way.
Wow. What? They have they got conglomerates, guys. I don't know if y'all, some of y'all, where they're building not only the academies, but they're also building stadiums and hotels and housing and everything behind this project. This thing is so much bigger, and all of this is basically giving value to the company because now they have assets. Think about it. Now they have assets, and we are a part. We got our change in there to get a piece of the pie as it continues to go and grow. I think somebody said on the earlier call about, imagine before Apple was Apple, or no, not Apple, but the guy Tesla was Tesla, Jeff Bezos, I think it is. Could you imagine now where we at and the benefits that you had if you just had a penny stock off of that? And where we would be now, or as the other disruptors that are out here in this space. So let me tell you this. Yeah, mind blowing, right? Let me tell you this. You're at the right place at the right time. And what I can say is, if you have a loved one, you have somebody that you truly and deeply care for, that you want to be able to leave a long-lasting legacy. Now, I can't tell you how to spend your money, but I'm going to just be able to paint the picture for you. Find a way to do so. And watch this, when we help build the community, and we hardly ever talk about this, when you help add another person to the community, whether it's an internal family issue or a deal, or you have somebody externally could come on in and be a part of us, they pay you a referral fee, 4%. And there are other perks and things, and we can go and get all confused about that. But the bottom line, if you got a person that put in, I don't know, let's put in $100,000, and you made 4% off of that 100,000, that's $4,000 for introducing the community, and then rewarding you back and saying thank you for helping and find somebody else that's going to add to this community, but also add to this project that is so precious and that's so good and so forth. We are building disruptive categories in the next thing. And I said this to another person today. I'd rather have my funds, I'd rather have my portfolio have such a global feel to it, just in case something goes on here in the US of A, that I still have access to some other streams of income while things are being able to be put back together. So I thank each and every one of you for being here. I don't know if Andre is in a good place to come back, or Archie, I see Archie's here, or Don, or any of the other leaders may want to say anything. But I am truly thankful again, Professor Dalton, for coming in and using your skill set to give us a little more clarity and understanding from the technical side on how this thing works. Anybody else?
Hey, Dr. Barr.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate you. I just appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. D, for that deep dive. Like I feel like I understand a lot better. And Professor Dog's been on my butt for weeks now. He's like, let me in, coach.
وإيش شكله ثاني؟
So I am really, if you know what I know, if you understood what's about to take place or what is taking place and how you really need to position yourself. Like I said in the earlier call, if you're done, and you've done your part. But there's somebody out there that really would buy in if they understood. So we're gonna definitely get this recording out to the field, and 7 days to go. Back to you, Dr. Perry.
Pastor Sheila. Thank you, Andre. Pastor Sheila.
Try.
Here you go.
Trying to get off mute. I wasn't trying to get off camera. I was trying to get off the mute. Hello, somebody. Watch it now. I just wanted to get hats off to hey, my brother Lou Allen. I just wanted to give oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus.
How you
Anyhow,
doing, sister?
y'all pray for me. Pray for me. Oh man, I just wanted to take my hat off for Professor Dalton.
Amen.
Professor Dalton is one of the hardest working men in the world.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, you guys don't know that man do a lot of work for a lot of people.
That's right.
For nothing. But you know, he gonna get it in glory. He gonna get it on his crown. I just wanted to say publicly, I appreciate him. If nobody else does, I mean, he explains a lot, and he's very analytical. He doesn't realize, you know, he's a technical person. I went to ITT with the technical people. So when you are in that space, you don't even realize how much knowledge and information that you actually have and hold. And this is so good that he's able to teach and bring this information to someone else besides Pastor Sheila and Lou Allen. Because we are his friends and we listen to the information that he has. And I try to explain to him this information is so above our heads that we don't grasp it like that. So he did a wonderful job breaking it down and trying to get it to us. Now it will take us, Bishop Perry knows, as far as Pastor Sheila, when it comes to Pastor Sheila, nothing. I understood. It's like walk, walk, walk. So this is great because of some of the other people that may not want to tell you, I'll tell you. But I thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm thanking you also for the rest of the people because we all appreciate this information. Although we may need to hear it, if it's a recording, 2 or 3 or 4 more times, just to get a understanding. It's a lot. It's a learning curve. But thank you so very much for all that you do and all that you try to help every person on the earth. You try to help people out. We appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Dr. Perry and all the many hours and my brother, my mentor, and Dr. Perry is my bishop, the bishop. But thank you, Andre and Zena, for your time of sacrifice. That's right. That you allow for Zena, because she could say, that's my husband. I want to spend that time with my husband. You know, there are people that want to keep them to themselves. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. We appreciate everybody in this space. There's so many gifted people here. And if you don't know it, you take your finger and point to yourself because you are gifted too. You just haven't let us see what you have in your hand. Hey,
Thank
my
you
Dr.
so
little
much.
Perry,
cat.
is Dr. D is still in the line?
He's still
D.
here. Yes, he is. We just got
Would you
going around the
please,
book.
Dr. D, I was wondering, is
Hey,
uplift?
hey, brother Mike, we just have people on the line finishing up. I'm gonna get to you. I promise
Oh, I'm
you.
so sorry.
No problem. So thank you,
I'm
Pastor.
done.
Thank you, Pastor Sheila. Go ahead, brother Lou.
Yeah, just to add to what Pastor Sheila said, I've been knowing Keith for I think 17, maybe 18 years now. He's just an amazing individual. He's a godly man, loves God, and the help that he has given people and asked nothing in return. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Mind
I mean,
blowing.
every time I've had an issue with a computer or phone, he always solves it. Always. He's just a remarkable. I'm just proud to call him my friend. And Dr. Perry, when I met you on XIXI, I said, "Oh, there's somebody who's special."
Well,
You
bless
and
you.
your wife. I said, "Man, this guy is really got something on the ball here." And you're in the category of Keith and
Oh, bless you.
Sheila. I
Bless
tell
Sheila.
you,
Bless you.
so I just applaud all of you guys. Keith is just probably the best friend I've ever had. You know, he's amazing. He's amazing. God
And
bless all of you guys.
And God bless you. We're so glad you're here because we got to travel the beaches of the world together. Come on, somebody. And that's coming.
Yes, cruise. We're gonna go on some cruises.
And that's
Yes.
coming real soon. That's coming.
Yep.
That's coming real soon. Come on. So thank you,
All
Lou.
right.
Good to see you, my friend. Oh my
You
gosh, it's
too.
so good to see you.
Yeah.
Let me get to brother Mike so we can get all out here. Make sure everybody's got their time. Brother Mike, yes, sir. Thank you again, brother Lou.
Dr. D, the question I have is uplift, is it the Binance network in the MetaMask? Because when we have the Daisy token, they change it to uplift, use the Binance network.
That's for you, Professor Dalton. We may have to have you exchange numbers. How about that?
I thought that was on the Ethereum network. I think when I did mine, I did it on Ethereum, on MetaMask.
But right now, because this Atleta has their own network, but they said through the uplift you can go to, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Binance. I think it's on the Ethereum network.
Okay.
That's what it works.
And maybe we can get a call in all the way around with Andre and Professor Dalton and have a little sidebar conversation for those that want to know. And then we maybe open it back up once we got some solid answers for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Brett. Good to see you, brother Mike, as well.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Anybody else before we get on out of here? It's 3:16. We don't want to take your rest of your afternoon up, but this has been good. We need this information because we only have 7 days left, guys. 7 days left. And 1 second, Rocky. If you're going to purchase any nodes, do it tonight. Do it as soon as we get off, because tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. they go up. They go up 5%. 5%. So if you're going to be able to, if you're contemplating, don't contemplate, get them. Get them now. So when we hang up from here, because they will go up. And because what I do know, if you are trying to do that and getting around it, and I'm not saying procrastination, but things are going to be able to distract you from doing it. So if you got a clear shot and a clear mind from that, let's do that. Rocky, come on in. Brother Rocky.
There we go. Whew. All right. So I've been out of loop for just a few, just a little bit, but I'm glad to be back into it. I just want to say thank you, doctor and pastor and everybody, because fam, y'all doing the thing, and I appreciate everybody. And I'll just let you know I'm back. Thank you.
All right, we're glad you're back. Come on, somebody. Thank you. Well, hey, we're gonna close this out. If it's Andre, okay, I see you just came off. 1 second.
Yeah, I just want to promote you for tomorrow, bro.
Oh yeah,
what you got going on?
Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Book club with Dr. Kimberly Austin. She's in the background. She's telling everybody, hey. And as we're gonna be in diving, I believe in chapter 2 of the book. Look, of the other project, Bio Limitless. I'm telling you, You missed it last week. You missed a treat. Come on back and let's get this together and learn. Let's come back and get it together and learn. Professor Dalton, and you got the last to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer the question that the Lyft token uses the Binance blockchain.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Well, if nothing else is being said, we're losing some people. So walk, run, fly, learn, live, lead. Walk, run, fly, learn, live, lead. God bless you. You guys have a great afternoon, great evening. Get your nodes if you're going to purchase. And we're going to end in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blessings.